Just get the jitters.
Hey, Alice, you click about it. I do. Oh, this one? Yeah.
If y'all see the blue got it, go ahead and press that so that it'll get out of your way. Allison, you may have to do that on your phone.
I got it.
That's just letting you know that we're being live streamed, and it's about 1 minute till, so I'm going to start recording.
Yeah.
So this is on Zoom.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock and we are here live with our Arkansas Heart Hospital chefs today. I'm so glad everybody's with us. We have some folks joining us on our Facebook page. I'm so glad that we are able to see people online, and we're happy to have this makeup class with our Arkansas Heart Hospital group. This is the best part. You know, we've met with surgeons and cardiologists, but really we want to know about what you're going to prepare for us today. So we have Candia Bradley and Bailey Ford with us. Wave, y'all. There we are. Look excited. They're going to talk to us about delicious, heart healthy vegetarian chili. Is that correct? Is that what y'all are picking for us today? All right. I want you to tell us a little bit about yourselves though before you get started on the recipe. How long have you been at Arkansas Heart Hospital? What part do you play in the hospital?
All right. My name is again Candia Bradley. I am one of the chefs downstairs here at the Arkansas Heart Hospital. I am part of the patient line. I make all the delicious meals that you all try here when you come stay with us for your visit. Everything is made from scratch on my behalf and all of our other chefs' behalves. And I'm just glad to be here today to create something for you all, something that you all can enjoy, but also be healthy as well.
My name is Bailey Ford. I am a dietetic intern, and I am in my 3rd week here at the Arkansas Heart Hospital doing my clinical rotation.
Well, good. This is your trial by fire. 3rd week intern. All right.
3rd weekend.
We're going to put you to work. Zoomers, you might want to turn your volume up a little bit. They're kind of in a big echoey space. If you could turn your volume up on your device, your phone, your laptop, your iPad, you'll be able to hear a little more clearly. But I'm going to let y'all get started. What have you got for us today?
All right, today here we have a vegetarian chili. Also, it can be vegan if for those who want to go the full route of the vegan option. So today here we're going to start with our onions, bell peppers, and tomatoes. We're going to sweat those down and get those cooked up for you, and we're going to continue the process. So to start off this chili, I'm going to start off with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. You can also use canola oil, grapeseed oil, sunflower oil, any heart healthy option of oil. Also, it has a great high cooking point, so you don't have to worry about burning the food that you're cooking. So once you have the oil in, you're going to add in the onions and let those sweat down. And as those onions sweat down, we're going to go over here to the fabulous Bailey, and we're going to start our meat substitute. So in this pan here, we're going to add 2 cups of Beyond Meat, which is optional. You can also do no sodium. You can do lentils, tofu, your choice. whatever, you know. And we're gonna get that in here and get some heat on that. All right, and to this, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 tablespoons of the smoked paprika. Smoked paprika adds a great flavor to the chili. You see what I'm talking about? If you try it, once you try it yourself, you're gonna be like, I'm never going back to regular paprika. All right, we're gonna go in with 2 tablespoons of cumin.
One thing we want to be careful of with all of these spices and herbs is that with the heart healthy diet, we're going to watch our sodium content. So we just want to make sure we're buying herbs and spices that don't contain extra salt additives in them.
And then we're gonna add in a teaspoon of black pepper. And we're gonna let this cook down as well. So you can go ahead and stir that and chop it. Get a nice brown color on it. We're gonna go over here, we're gonna stir our onions just to make sure nothing sticks. And everything is cooked evenly and perfectly. So you want to sweat them, but you don't want to caramelize them because you want the onions to contain that color and the flavor as well. You don't want to release too much in it. You don't want to brown it too much. So you just want just the flavors to release themselves from the onions into the oil.
Another great reason why we would use an olive oil or an avocado oil is because it is a great source of heart healthy fats. It has antioxidants and polyphenols that are great to protect our heart. And it also could raise our HDL and lower our LDL cholesterols. So really any of the liquid oils that are at room temperature. So again, like canola oil or olive oil or are great options rather than like butter or margarine that are more solid at room temperature. Those are going to be higher in saturated fat.
You won't feel bad the next day about eating. You will not. All right, our onions are almost there. All right, and how is our lovely meat substitute coming along here?
Smelling good.
I'm excited about this, you all listen. So this recipe I created was actually a trial and error. I created it in Colorado when I worked at a vegan restaurant. So it was a junk food burger bar. So they made basically a lot of junk food that you can enjoy without the guilt of eating junk food. And they was like, well, we want to try a chili recipe, do something for it, because Colorado gets really cold. If you've ever been to Colorado, you know for a fact it snows every day. It snows every single day. And I was like, okay, well, they was like, well, whatever's in there, free to use. And so I went and I tried my first time, and the first time it didn't come out delicious. I'm not gonna lie. It did not come out good. It was nasty. And I was like, nope. So tried again. By the 4th time, I finally was able to get the recipe down, get it packed, and it came out, it was a hit. Also, you know, they let me create other items for the restaurant to help, you know, push them more out there. They were a small shop, so it was like a mom and pop shop. So they were happy and they were grateful, and I actually do appreciate it. The name of it is the Bumbling Bee Vegan Burger Bar and Junk Food. So if you're ever in Virginia, visit, look for Cassandra, Olivia, or just go visit them. Because listen, the food's amazing, and I'm actually very appreciative for the experience they have given me, and it has landed me here at the Arkansas Heart Hospital where I can give more choices, more healthier choices to people from around, and being able to allow them to enjoy food without the thought of, well, I gotta be healthy, you know.
Another great thing about this chili recipe is that we have the vegan option of using Beyond Meat. We could also use lentils or beans that would also support this being a vegan meal. If you are not vegan though, you could always add in a lean protein such as ground chicken or ground meat or ground turkey, sorry. That also would be pretty delicious in here and a great substitute if you are not vegan.
So you could leave the meat substitute out entirely and just have beans if you want to.
Yes, or lentils, yes.
Okay, and then would you suggest a very lean ground beef or a ground turkey? What would be?
You could use a very lean ground beef, yes, or of course, you could do a ground turkey or a ground chicken as well. Those are all good options.
Yeah, you can find all of those. I mean, ground chicken too at Kroger. So
You can, yes.
All right, our onions have sweated and we have got a nice aroma from them, which I'm very proud of. All right, so we're gonna add in our bell pepper, which is 1 bell pepper, a cup basically. And we're gonna get that in here along with 1 tomato. You can do heirloom, you can do beef, like beef tomatoes. They have multiple varieties of tomatoes, but this is just a regular homegrown tomato. It's pretty delicious as well. And if you are allergic to tomatoes, you can always cut it and substitute for different chilies like a poblano. I like poblano. They are amazing. It's a big chili. It's really big, so it can substitute, and it's not really spicy. It does add a nice little kick to the meal, but it doesn't overpower the meal.
Another great thing about this little concoction right here is that the red bell peppers are really high in vitamin A and C, and the bell peppers and the onions and the garlic all actually have antioxidant properties that will lower that they're anti-inflammatory, and that's really awesome for us and our heart health and our yeah. I don't know what I was going to say at the end of that.
Right. So we're gonna let these cook down and we're gonna let them, start to release those flavors into the pot as before. And then we are going to add in our stock once everything is cooked down and softened up just a little bit so it's palatable, You don't want to bite into some chili and there's like a crunchy bell pepper sitting there looking at you. That's not fun. That is looking good. Oh, it looks amazing. I like that. All right. We're gonna turn that down here, just so we don't overcook it. Our nice quick substitute. That's sizzle. I love it.
You got to tell us what you're smelling right now, because I see all that steam.
Well, I'm gonna give you the visual. All right. So right now I'm smelling the onion, and then incorporating with the sweetness of that red bell pepper, and then the balance and earthiness of the tomato is just a great way to wake up in the morning. Listen, if you ever, and the best way to wake up in the morning is the sound of fried food. Don't believe me, try it yourself. Just go in there and open up, just slice up onion and throw it in the pan. You're gonna be like, all right, I can start my day. My day is gonna be amazing.
So Candida actually cut up her own tomato, but if you do not want to cut your own tomato, or she soaks her own beans as well and make her own broth, but if you don't want to do that, or you don't have the time, you can buy those at the store, of course, and prepackaged for cans. But that too, we're gonna want to watch the sodium content on. So over here, I actually have some cans. So we are using pinto beans today, and this is just a regular can with the regular salt added. And as we can see here, the sodium content of 1 serving is 450 milligrams. Whereas if we were to use the no salt added pinto beans, it would be 20 milligrams. So that's a huge difference, especially when you're adding it all into a chili, that all can add up. I do want to say though, that these are both no salted kidney beans, which we are using today as well. But there are better options of these. So this one right here has 40 milligrams of sodium, while this one only has 10. So even though you are picking no salt added, just maybe pick up a couple and look at the labels and try and pick the best option. Because again, once we add all of this into a chili, that all can add up very quickly. So we're gonna wanna pick the best options that we can for our heart.
All right. We are almost at the finish line here with our vegetables.
Bailey, does rinsing the beans, we had a question from a viewer, does rinsing the beans help reduce some of the sodium?
Maybe a little bit, but again, it's still going to be a higher, if you're using just the normal Bush's beans right there with no sodium, or with all regular sodium, it's not going to take all of that out now.
Okay.
All right, well, now that our vegetables have cooked down and they're salted, we are going to go in with 4 cloves of garlic. I like to add those at the end just so it doesn't burn, because you want to make sure your garlic still has that flavor without the scorchiness taste. We're going to add that into the pot, and we're going to mix it in here with our vegetables and get those cooked down as well, which does not take that long.
That smells really good too. That all smells so good.
You know your food is good when when your eyebrows start itching, the kind of food is going. Your body tells you when something is bad. It does. Listen. All righty, we have that in here. That is cooking fabulous. All righty, now that our vegetables cooked in and we got our garlic in here, we're gonna go in with our herbs. Now I'm using dry herbs, but if you don't want to do dry herbs and you want to do something a little bit more fresher, I would suggest fresher herbs, which you can find at your local grocery store. You can find at a farmer's market, anywhere, they have fresh herbs. I suggest you do it. Fresh herbs are the best. Listen, and if you don't mind, thank you so much. All right, we're gonna go in with a teaspoon of parsley. We're gonna go in with 1 bay leaf. This thing packs some punch. Listen. And we're going in with also a teaspoon of, I dropped it, I'm sorry, y'all. Don't pay me no mind.
Another great thing about using herbs in this recipe is that since we are trying to cut down on sodium, using herbs and spices without any of the added salt in it can add a lot more flavor back into it, where we normally might be using the salt.
That aroma.
It's good.
It's like if you've ever walked into like a small shop, like a pizzeria, it's heavenly.
Candia, there's a lot of chili recipes out there, and recently, and some of them use some pretty strange ingredients. Recently, I saw one that was black bean and pumpkin. I've seen butternut squash. I mean, do you ever use, off?
So I've never used like butternut squash in a chili, but I have used it with like different soups, or I've used it as a meat option when making like a stew or something. You can also use it, or you can shred it and do make spaghetti. So you have a lot of options when it comes to squashes and zucchinis and everything. It's a lot of healthy options out there for different vegetables. It just sometimes you gotta scavenger and like on a safari.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing what you can do with vegetables, and since being in the presence of it and working with it for so long, it opens your eyes and it makes you okay, well, I can actually eat healthy and actually enjoy this and not feel bad about it. Don't eat too much. It's healthy. Don't overstuff yourself. Moderation. Everything in moderation. All righty. Now that our vegetables have cooked down, we got our herbs incorporated, our garlic and everything. We're gonna add in our vegetable stock. You can do, like I say, you can do chicken broth, beef broth, anything, that fits your taste. Because not everyone is into the vegetable thing. And I understand to the fullest. I'm gonna go in here with 2 cups of that. And what this is going to do is deglaze our pan. So when it deglazes our pan, it's going to basically pull up everything that's stuck at the bottom that is not typically burnt. It's just sitting there. And it allows it to loosen all of that back up and put those flavors back into your chili. Get that quiet in here.
Now that it's not sizzling.
By this time, we should be wide awake. Wide awake. You're up early, All right. Now that I have everything deglazed and up off the bottom of the pan, we're going to add in our meat substitute. Go ahead and add that in for me, Ms. Flavor.
Yeah.
We're gonna allow those to simmer together here for about a minute or two, just to get everything incorporated, get that chili powder, cumin and everything mixed in with the vegetables and stock and everything. So those flavors can start to incorporate and dance together.
Did you tell us what brand the meat substitute was? Did you say that already?
No, ma'am. So we're using a Beyond Beef meat substitute.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in the chat.
Of course.
Beyond Beef.
Yes, ma'am. And I actually love this brand because it's not the fact that it tastes like meat, but it's the fact it gives you the visual. You know, most people eat with their eyes before they eat with anything, like eat anything. And the fact that this gives you that visual aspect of, oh, I'm eating ground beef, but you're not eating ground beef. It's amazing. If you would like to look in here, show them what it looks like. It looks beautiful. And that is everything. Once everything is all mixed together and incorporated, beautiful. All right. Now, liquid content is based on how thick or how thin you want your chili. Most people like a really thick chili, so they use less liquids, you know. That's why you have to make sure everything is fully cooked if you're going to do less liquid. That way you don't have to have that problem of, you know, everything's not fully cooked through, but it's the consistency you like. All right, now we have a thick base. All right, so once we have this here cooked on down, then we're going to start adding in the rest of our other ingredients, which is our beans. So we have 2 cups of black beans.
And beans, again, are a great protein substitute if you don't want to use the meat. Lentils also are great. They're both high in fiber and protein, and the high soluble fiber actually will help absorb the cholesterol in your intestines too. So beautiful. Yeah, the beans are great. Beans are a great addition to it.
Great meal and healthy cold. You cannot go wrong. And we're also going to go in with 2 cups of kidney beans. Now you can, if you do not like kidney beans, if you don't like black beans, you can go in with white beans, you can go in with pinto beans, you can go in with a lot of beans. There's a lot of beans. Listen, some people, they like to add some carrot to their chili. I think it's a great idea, you know, just to give you that extra boost of nutrition. Ooh. Thank you. It's coming together nicely. Many beautiful colors. Yes, it's beautiful. It's like vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
It's happy. All right, we're gonna let that simmer. So once that's doing all the simmering, I'm gonna go ahead and add in some more liquids. You can add water, you can add more stock. You know, you can add as much stock as you feel is necessary, as long as there's no sodium and you're not over incorporating too much. So we are going to I'm going to go in here with 2.5 cups of water. So we're going to put this water in here. This is just to thin everything out. You know, you don't want it too thick, but you don't want it too thin. You just want it the right consistency, just in case you want to use like no sodium crackers or wheat crackers, or you can go in with croutons. You can go in with bread, gluten-free bread. I would provide. You know, you don't want too many of those carbs. Not good. Go right to your hips.
I have a couple of questions. I'm wondering if you used chili powder. Did you add chili powder to the chili, or is that optional?
Yeah, so I use a dark chili powder.
You did? Okay.
They do have a light chili powder just in case you don't want that dark robustness of actual chili powder, but you can do dark chili powder, light chili powder. If you don't want to do chili powder, again, smoked paprika, is a nice substitute for that. It takes away from like the aspect of like, okay, well, where's the flavor? The smokiness of the paprika adds that flavor to the pie, adds the flavor to the dish. So you don't have to worry too much about missing flavors or it tasting.
I
black.
love smoked paprika. I love that. A little goes a long way.
It does. It's amazing.
We're also getting questions about, can we have the recipe? So I'm wondering if Vicky can email me the recipe, and I'll post it on our Facebook page if I can get that.
Oh,
India,
sure.
do you share your recipes?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
No problem with it. Okay. You're nice about it. I share anything with you. Clean up that area just to get everything out of the way. Also, I want to go over here and show you all something amazing from our house. So here we have our beautiful microgreens. They are grown here at Arkansas Heart Hospital by our farmer. His name is John. He's an amazing farmer. He grows fresh herbs, fresh vegetables, peppers, everything. And I actually enjoy using the things he grows because it allows a freshness to every dish that we serve to our patients and to our guests. So if you're ever here and you see John, just give him a shout out. He's an amazing person. He's amazing. Listen, I love working with John.
Tell us what that is one more time.
So these are microgreens. These are what Candia is going to use to garnish the chili with.
Oh,
But
okay.
they also are jam-packed with tons of nutrients. They are very, very high in antioxidants, high in potassium, high in iron. They're very high in zinc, magnesium, and copper. These little guys are, I think, like 9 times as jam-packed with nutrients as any other plant source. So
Wow.
they're a great addition to not only chili, but I like to put them in my salads too, or honestly, you can add them to anything, and they're a great little burst of nutrition.
We've toured the garden online with John. It was amazing. I think that was last spring, Vicky. I can't remember, but he was one of our guest speakers for our class.
Yeah. John's amazing. I like working with John. Everything. And also, John has had the pleasure of trying this chili. And that's how I know like it's top notch. Because I was like, John, do you want to try it? And he's like, what is it? I was like, it's vegan chili. He's like, it's vegan, 100% vegan. He tried it, loved it. And once he tried it, I brought it to our director, I brought it to our supervisor. It was something that I knew we could use, especially for those patients we get that don't consume meat or they're on a vegan diet and they're trying to stick to it, even though they're not feeling well. It'd be great to give them something that they can enjoy while trying to get better. All right, now that all of our delicious items here are just cooked down, and I'm hungry. Listen, I'm so hungry. It's early. I'm hungry. We're going to go in with a cup of quinoa.
So that quinoa is a great addition because it is a protein source. It is a complete protein source, actually, which means that it has all 9 of the essential amino acids that we need for protein building and repair. It contains fiber, and it also is gluten-free. So it really is just a great option to put in our chili.
It's amazing.
Looks wonderful. We had a makeup class in our Whole Foods plant-based diet class this morning too. That's a part of our LifeQuest library, people. So there's lots of healthy options at LifeQuest. I'm getting a couple of questions. Is it possible to come in and eat at Arkansas Heart Hospital as an outside guest without being a patient?
Yes.
At the food truck, yes.
At the food truck? Oh, okay.
Yes, we have a food truck that does ramen on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
I've heard about your ramen. I didn't know where that had landed. Where's that?
That's from the food truck.
Okay, is that out in front of the hospital? Where would we find it?
On Wednesdays, it's here. On the other days, it's at Encore, I believe, yes, which is out in Bryant.
Okay, Wednesdays. Okay. And then my other question is, do you have to rinse the quinoa before you use it?
No, not technically, because quinoa absorbs so much liquid, it's kind of fearful to just like sit it in the water. It's scary because it reacts really fast. It reacts so fast. So dry quinoa is the best option. Just go straight in with it. Now, if you want to rinse it, I wouldn't buy it. Yeah, if you do it, but as far as straining it, I would suggest a cheesecloth because that's the only smallest thing able to strain quinoa properly without losing any of your product. Like these questions you guys, y'all making me think. Beautiful. All right, so now that our quinoa is gonna cook here for a while, if you would like, we can do questions or we can do any more nutrition.
You want to show them?
All right, and you let your chili cook just to make sure the quinoa cooks about 5 to 7 minutes. It actually happens really, really fast. But once you do that, you're gonna end up with this beautiful, beautiful product here. And that is our finished product of our vegan.
That looks so good.
And on this, we have our microgreens, and I have toasted pumpkin seeds. I have covered them in a little olive oil, chili powder, cumin, and you can add onion powder and also garlic powder if you like. And you just toast them for about 10 minutes on 225, and nice toasted. They pop when you take them out, which is a great crunch, and it's like a little mini crouton.
And again,
That is wonderful.
seeds
And
are
that's
jam-packed with tons of nutrients. The pumpkin seeds contain antioxidants, iron, zinc, and magnesium. So again, that's just a punch of nutrients sitting right there at the top.
I love that. Can you use barley instead of quinoa?
You can.
Yes.
Okay. And where do you find raw pumpkin seeds to toast?
So raw pumpkin seeds, you can find them at any local grocery store if you like, or you can actually get a pumpkin and carve out the middle. Like I know, like how you do when you do a pumpkin for Halloween. And what you can do is you can take the pumpkin seeds and let them dry. Or if you want them right then and there, you can pop them in the oven and let them bake for a little while, say 10 minutes. And then you have toasted pumpkin seeds.
Well, and snack on those instead of a bunch of crackers, right? You know.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I also use them to top like yogurt and stuff like that too.
Mhm.
They really are a great addition too.
And it's amazing in granola.
So your healthy additions were the the main ones, the meat substitute, the quinoa, to bulk it up, the pumpkin seeds, the microgreens, which I would not have thought of. What else were some of the differences?
So the meat substitute actually might not be the best nutrient substitute. It is lower in saturated fats. I think it's 35% lower in saturated fats than most meats. But if you do pick a lean meat, that's probably going to be a more heart healthy option. Or again, you could just use lentils or beans.
Okay. Well, so what are y'all having for lunch today? Or breakfast? Brunch at the Heart Hospital. We'll be right over. And you use low sodium vegetable stock too.
Yes, ma'am.
Did
She
you
actually
make?
made her own? But yes, if you do buy it at the store, let's choose low sodium or no sodium added options.
I figured you probably made your own. Yeah. Well, this came together really quickly because we've only been talking for 30 minutes and we've been peppering you with questions.
Oh, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. I'm so glad for the questions, just to, get that knowledge out there for people.
Yeah.
So if you want a taste of cheese in your chili, like if you like, okay, I need some cheese, you can also have the option of using, they also have vegan cheese, but that's pretty expensive. So if you don't want to go that route, you can use nutritional yeast. It's pretty delicious. It has the cheese in its flavor and it's heavenly.
It also is another complete protein.
It is.
It is. Contains all of the amino acids that we need.
And it's gluten-free.
It actually contains more than needed amino acids. I think that it has like 22 or something, and we only need 9.
Wow. So
Yeah.
what's the difference between, that red label or red something baker's yeast and nutritional yeast. I don't know. Do y'all know?
Not sure.
I mean, can you bake with that and it lets things
Oh.
rise? And
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So regular yeast that we use for like baking and things, that is that's living. So it's alive and it's used to make bread rise and add like the glutinous to it. But this does not contain gluten. So it's not a living yeast. It's actually deceased. I'm sorry to say it like that. It's not alive.
it's dead
So,
yeast.
Yeah, surprisingly, it's very cheesy though. For
Okay.
people who are vegan and don't eat cheese,
Yeah.
it's a great substitute.
I personally cannot imagine not eating cheese, but I'm glad to know about that substitute.
yeah.
Anybody on Zoom have some questions for us? And I'm looking on Facebook too before we let our chefs eat their breakfast. Okay, so I'm still getting questions about the recipe, including the pumpkin seed toasting. So if y'all could let us know about that, we will post that on our Facebook page from Arkansas Heart Hospital. I just want to say thank you so much for y'all presenting and making up for a snow day class. We're thrilled to have you today. Arkansas Heart Hospital is a sponsor, as you know, of LifeQuest, but they really truly are an educational partner because they teach classes. And a couple times a year, we get to have Arkansas Heart Hospital as a part of our curriculum on Zoom. We're ready to get back in person, but we love having this ability to see y'all and be in your kitchen space with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all have a good rest of your day. Thanks everybody for zooming in with us and for being with us on Facebook. We're hungry. Enjoy, take care.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.